All right, so good morning. This is my final project for the Java programming with Java class. In this application or program, I'm showing a maze that's using some arrays, methods, a little bit of recursion, and some other things. So let me play it for you first. All right, so it's a maze that you can see. It's randomly creating a maze and solving it by trying to get the path starting from the upper left-hand corner through all the way through to the lower right-hand corner. Once it does solve the maze, it will start over in about 4 seconds, and then it will recreate a brand new maze, random paths, and try to solve it all over again. So once it completes this, if you did want to actually finish the application, I would click the X up here in the box, okay? So you notice this was different because it was a shorter path. All right, so I'll walk through the code here. It's not too much to it, so I should be able to get through this fairly quickly. All right, so this is creating a random maze, then trying to solve it by finding a path from the upper left-hand corner as mentioned previously. So going down here, kind of starting off with the variables that I'm using. Essentially, this is kind of working with evens and odd numbers, also negatives, which is basically creating some sort of like a room or path where it's knocking down based upon those coordinates type of things. So that's what you're seeing here, just setting up the actual visuals of the program. This is the start method where it's opening up that grid, or shall I say interface that you saw of the maze. This is the draw square method. You'll also see that being called down later, where it's going to restart the overall maze itself. All right, and down here you're seeing the run method. It's basically making a maze over and over again and solving it for itself. Where it's also just kind of like drawing some things. So if I go down here, this is just making the maze, that random stuff that I was talking about earlier. The strategy is to start with a grid of disconnected rooms separated by walls, then look at each of the separating walls in a random order. If tearing down a wall would not create a loop in the maze, then it would tear it down. Otherwise, it would leave it in place. So it doesn't want to have any loops in the maze path. It wants it to be able to get to starting from the upper left-hand corner all the way down to the lower right-hand corner. So that's basically what this make maze method is talking about. Okay, and you just see, more and more code here, some math, essentially calling those dynamic arrays and stuff like that. So this is the teardown method. So here you tear down a wall, unless doing so will form a loop. Tearing down a wall joins two rooms into one room. So kind of like making that path as you saw before from those individualized squares. The rooms begin to look like quarters as they grow. When a wall is torn down, the room codes on one side are converted to match those on the other. So all the cells in the room have the same code. So that's pretty much what that is there. All right. And I'm just going through my code really slow so you can see it. This is recalling that same method we just saw. The solve maze, this is kind of involving some recursion. I am a little bit new to the whole idea of recursion, so this was a good way how to see it. I also kind of was introduced in some sort of it was like a video situation that I saw, which also had a maze in it as well. So I thought that would be cool to kind of tie into a final project utilizing this type of stuff in programming. Okay, so basically it's trying to solve the maze by continuing that path from the position row of column, it returns true if the solution is found, the maze is considered to be solved, if the path reaches the lower right cell. Okay, so that's basically what you're seeing here in this solve maze method. All right, and that's pretty much it. So I'll scroll back to the top and play it over for you so you can see it. So starting off with those individual squares, and it's making those corridors or rooms by knocking it down, making sure to make no loops. It wants to have a through path all the way from the upper left-hand corner all the way through the lower right-hand corner. So you see it basically going through. It's like, nope, I can't get through, so it goes back, and then it is going to start over again and do a whole new path. So I'll have this one as the last one to see. And the color you can change. It doesn't have to be red, white, and blue. The path, instead of white, I could have made it yellow. But I feel like this looks a little bit easier to see. So that's about it. This is the Maze app final project for my Programming with Java class. And if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. But I hope you have a great day.